On the WGY Morning News, fast food coffee is again the target of a lawsuit. This time, a woman claims she went into diabetic shock when she was given sugar instead of artificial sweetener in her Dunkin Donuts coffee. We're joined by WGY legal analyst Paul Harding of Martin, Harding & Mazzotti. Now, Paul, does she have a case here?
Well, technically she does. If she can prove that, in fact, they did not put the artificial sweetener and they put sugar in, and then she had some medical event that followed. So, it's got this... brings back memories of that McDonald's case, which has been haunting most plaintiffs' lawyers since the inception of that case. Except here, there really is no minimal damages. I understand she went to the hospital, and she was doing fine several minutes after that. So technically, yes, she does have a claim. What the value of that claim is to be determined, but it's not much.
So one of the bigger issues, obviously, is the amount of harm done.
Yeah, that's the critical component. And, of course, the significant and the absurd always seem to make national news. Yeah. And this is certainly not significant. So you've got a situation where she's a diabetic, and that's a serious condition. So I'm not discounting what people go through. It's a horrible way to live. And she goes into diabetic shock. I just can't imagine that just a couple, packets of sugar, but maybe it did. It put her into that degree. But the reality of it is, she's fine, and the fact that the lawsuit was filed is what's made now national news. I'm down here in New Orleans as I speak, and I'm looking at the local paper, and sure enough, that article's sitting there.
Now, mistakes do happen. Is there any room in the law for just saying mistakes happen, even little ones like that?
Well, she's got some out-of-pocket medical bills, and I think the company would do the right thing by paying those. And yes, little mistakes, usually with small resolution. If they take a position and they just make her angry and say, look, we're not saying we put sugar in there, we're saying we did the artificial sweetener, then maybe the lawsuit continues more out of her trying to make a point than actually looking to recover significant or any sums of money for what happened to her.
Now, they're claiming that Dunkin Donuts was negligent by allowing employees to add sweetener to the coffee out of the customer's presence. Now, I know when I've been to Dunkin Donuts before, I order it, milk and 2 Splenda. So she could have ordered it that way, and the person handing it at the window or wherever over the counter gave her the wrong one. If you have a diabetic condition that's that serious, you would think it might be in her best interest to order it black and get something on the side. So is that something that a jury might consider?
That was my first thought, Kelly, when I looked at this. Yeah, I mean, if you are that close to going to diabetic shock with the sugar, then sure, jury's going to say, I know what I would do. I'd order the coffee black, and then I would put my. So, that's hopefully this case is going to have a conclusion very, very quickly. I think it's nominal in value, and these are the cases that, again, not discounting what she went through, seeing someone in diabetic, and I've seen it, diabetic shock, it's a real scary event, but she came out of it okay. I suspect that this thing is going to go away quietly.
But just legally speaking, again, we kind of touched on it, though, is there some onus on her to protect herself?
Well, there is, and you can certainly interpret it that way, but we've got to assume that when we're buying something, packaged and it says no sugar, that there's no sugar in it. So she has a reasonable expectation that, in fact, she's going to get what she ordered. But, when I go to Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru, it's about 50-50 that I'm going to actually get my breakfast sandwich, my bagel with toasted, with the cream cheese on it. So, in my mind, the Dunkin' Donuts, the standard there, everyone kind of expects is going to be a minor mess-up. And if you're that close to a medical condition, you do have a responsibility or at least it would be consideration, you'd have more responsibility to make sure that what goes in there is what's going to keep you safe. But as I said, I do think that this thing will it burst on the scene, and then I don't know we're going to ever hear the resolution because it's going to be a small one.
Paul Harding from Martin, Harding & Mazzotti, 1-800-LAW-1010 or 1-800-LAW-1010.com. Paul, thanks so much.
Okay, guys. See ya.
Take care. Paul Harding of the WGY Morning News.